You're tuning in to the Stunt Family podcast, where the weird is normal and the crazy comes daily. Watch for us every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central. It's time now for Marko, Logan, Mama and Papa Stunt and their special guests on the Stunt Family podcast.
What's up, everybody? You're tuning in to the Stunt Family podcast, and this week we recorded somewhere different. We recorded at Cape Comic-Con. It was the day after Cape Championship Wrestling Super Show 3 that we were a part of, me and Logan both. But right now, we got here, this is Marko speaking. To my right, we've got Mr. Logan Stunt. What's up, Logan?
What's up, bro?
And we got Mama Stunt to my left.
Hi.
And Papa Stunt's in front of me.
What's up, guys?
And, so during this episode, you're going to hear a lot of voices. You're going to hear a lot of background noise, just because we're at a convention. So we're in the middle of the floor doing a podcast in the middle of a convention. You're going to hear a lot of voices. I think there was like seven of us.
Who all was there?
There was the four of us. There was, Jacksyn Crowley. There was Billy Hills. There was Dalton Anthony, Jeff Odell, Jason Wells, Marni Gras every once in a while.
Lee Montgomery a little
Lee
bit.
Montgomery was there. I think that was it. That was it. It was like 7 of them. Anyways, yeah. So we're going to get into that
In just a second. But last week we took a week off because Papa Stunt was traveling, Marko was traveling, and we couldn't get together the way we needed to. So we missed a week of our podcast. So we didn't get to talk about something really important. I think we need to take a couple of minutes.
Yeah, we got to meet the Godfather.
Marko and Logan faced each other for the first time ever in a wrestling ring.
Yeah.
Where were you guys?
South Bend, Indiana.
Yeah, South Bend, Indiana.
Man. All right, so I got to finally watch the match like 3 days later because everybody told us it started at 4 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Eastern, but it really started at 3 o'clock Central. So we missed the match live and had to watch it later once it finally got up on Independent Wrestling TV. So what was it like, guys? What was it like to face each other the first time?
I got the crap beaten out of me. My chest was cut open.
No, don't. It wasn't. No.
Yeah. It was a fun match. I pinned him.
He did pin me.
So right now Logan's 1-0.
Yeah.
But this one came from a distraction.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian. Even though I have to wrestle him soon.
It's alright. He ain't that tough.
Yeah, apparently you can't run ropes either.
I know. 1, 2 step. That's what he looks like.
Oh
man.
So it was a fun time. I enjoyed it. It was cool getting to see what he could actually do in the ring. I think he pulled out some different tricks that he wouldn't usually do. And I'm glad I could push him to that. Once we get in the ring again, hopefully I'll be feeling a little bit better. I'm not 100%, obviously. Obviously I came back a little bit too soon. But yeah, once we get that match again, I'll take you to a different level.
Well, it was fun to watch for me. What did you think about it, Mama Stunt?
Oh, well, I don't know what to think. It's both my boys going against each other, and so it's kind of hard to put into words.
Yeah.
However, I was glad to see Logan beat his brother.
Yeah.
Because I knew it could go either way, but it was just, you know.
Yeah, but I shouted her out in the match, and I knew what her favorite move was. I know her favorite move's the chop, so I obviously gave a few chops during the match just to let her know that I loved her and let her know that I knew she was watching.
Somebody made a compilation out of him.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Probably did.
Oh man, all right. Well, we'll talk next week about some more upcoming stuff. Y'all got quite a bit coming up here in the near future. A lot of exciting stuff, so we'll do that. But for this episode, in order to get everything in that we did up in Cape Girardeau this past weekend, man, we had a great time at the Super Show, CCW Super Show 3 in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, and it was a lot of fun sitting around with all these guys the next day and getting to just talk wrestling and the Super Show and some old stuff that came up, and quite interesting. So y'all got anything else?
No,
Nope.
let's
All
hop
right.
over there.
Let's hop over there and listen to the show from Cape Comic-Con in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Hey man, we're sitting here with Billy Hills. Billy, how'd it feel last night to break your neck?
It felt horrible.
We're here with Mama Stunt. Mama Stunt, how'd you like the show last night?
It was good. I was scared Logan was going to die in his match, but he lived, so we're good.
And Dalton Anthony, the newest star of CCW. Man, how'd it feel last night to be in the ring with Joey Ryan?
It felt pretty sleazy, and by that I meant great. Damn it, that's not gonna be on the show.
No, we can redo it. Jeff Odell is here with us. Man, Jeff, what happened last night? It kind of went crazy.
What happened last night? Last night was awesome. that was a night for the ages, my friend.
It was. I got Logan Stunt here with us. He had his debut at CCW last night. Logan, how'd it feel?
It felt amazing. I didn't die.
And one of the owners of CCW is here with us right now, Jacksyn the Brain.
That's me. That's what they call me.
And we got Mr. CCW champion over here who new CCW champion who won the title last night at Super Show number 1797. Three. Number 3 actually is what it was. Jacksyn, how do you feel about everything, dude?
Man, well, I'm sore.
Yeah.
So
How's your eye or your head?
My head's fine. It's a little split.
Yeah.
It was bleeding a while last night, but I'm all right. I feel good. I'm a new champ, and I'm ready to do it.
Good.
It's time for a moment with Mama Stunt.
How does that even make sense? That's all I got to say.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a moment with Mama Stunt, and we've got our whole crew here going to do a shotgun approach and ask Mama Stunt some wrestling questions. We're starting out with Dalton Anthony.
What did Chris Jericho put in William Regal's tea to start a feud at WrestleMania?
A laxative?
That was wrong. You want another guess? All right.
Alcohol?
I think I'd like him more. It would be urine.
Oh. That's gross.
Urine.
Urine.
You're in trouble now.
Look at you.
Oh man.
So, Billy Hills, what's your question for Mama Stunt?
So I already asked you once and stumped you, so I don't think I can ask that one again.
Okay.
No, screw it, I'm going to. Who's Tatanka?
I have no idea who that is.
Oh my goodness.
That's a wrestler though, right?
Yes, it is, or else I actually wouldn't ask that question.
Well, who'd they wrestle with?
There was just one.
Just one?
Just one. Tatanka.
Not to
Yeah.
tacos.
Huh?
Yeah.
To tacos.
Yeah, the plural version of that. No,
Okay.
that's not. No, there's just one.
Yeah, I have no idea.
He's a 1980s, early 90s professional wrestler. He had the loincloth, Indians, not the
I
dye.
do know how. Oh, I know who that is now. Yes, I do, but I didn't know
All right,
his name.
cool. Yeah, not the
Chris?
Yes, not the ones that tell you not too much cheese on the nachos.
Yeah,
not
yeah,
that
yeah,
one.
I got you.
The
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah, she probably thought she was probably thinking about Jimmy Superfly Snuka again.
No,
Yes.
All right, we got another question coming up from Jacksyn Crowley.
Ooh. All right. So on a version of SmackDown in 1999. All right. So the Big Boss Man, he cooked up Al Snow a dish. What did Big Boss Man cook up Al Snow? What did he feed him? Come on, you know this.
That's when Logan was born. I have no idea.
Just any guess.
Barbecue?
Barbecue?
It was steak.
Or was it?
He cooked his dog, his Chihuahua Pepper.
Oh, I don't like him anymore. That's so wrong. My dog is half Chihuahua.
Well, luckily you won't have to see him face to face.
No, he won't get
Yeah,
my
like
dog
Jimmy.
If I do.
Yeah, like Superfly.
He'll show up at the same show that Jimmy Superfly shows up at.
That's the only way he's gonna get to see my dog.
He's dead, dear.
Chihuahua. No, I know he's dead. I found that out in the first podcast.
All right.
Oh, boss. Oh, he's dead.
Okay.
All right. So moving on, Jason. Jason, what do you have a question for Mama Stunt?
Yeah, I do. Do you think Nick Gage is overrated, and would you tell your sons to tell him that to his face?
I don't think he's overrated, but yes, I probably would tell my sons to tell him that to his face.
All right.
She wants you to die.
My mom wants us to die.
Well, you can blame it on me.
MDK.
I love him.
Where's Big Lee, man?
Lee's gone.
He can hear that if you say those
He's
letters.
over there. He's walking towards us now.
All right, one more question from Jeff Odell. Jeff Odell, what's your question for Mama Stunt?
Okay, last night we all shared a locker room with Rick Steiner. Back in the late 80s in the NWA, there was a faction made up of Rick Steiner, Mike Rotunda, and Kevin Sullivan. What was the name of that faction in the NWA?
She's trying to get hints.
Billy Hills would not be your Google.
I have no idea. I've got to get something.
Just take a guess.
She wants somebody to write a Wrestling for Dummies book.
They have it for every. Yeah, I figured there was.
Is it any good?
It's called Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
You know,
In 1999.
okay, well, give her your answer and then I'll tell you this.
I have no idea.
Speak up.
The Varsity Club.
Varsity Club?
The Varsity Club.
Oh,
They were
I would
all
have never
amateur
guessed
wrestlers.
that. Oh.
Yeah, buddy.
Now, here, the most obscure Ask Mama Stunt question is going to come from Big Lee, who is standing right there behind us. Big Lee, what is the question, wrestling question for Mama Stunt?
Any wrestling, good hard wrestling trivia questions for Mama Stunt.
Because I'm not going to get it.
Yeah, it can be super easy. Yeah.
I mean, who do you think's tougher, Slack or Nick Gage?
Nick Gage.
Really?
Oh,
Really?
We're about to fight.
Do you know who Slack is?
Nope.
Looks a lot like Brian.
Yeah, I'm wrestling.
Oh, wait. Is that...
He's a hardcore.
Oh.
He's got the face tattoos.
Oh.
You know, his
Let me
tag
change
is
my-
his
let me
tagline
change
is
to
"No
him
God,
then.
only Slack."
We'll change it to him.
They recently had a prison match where they brought shakes.
Yeah. Like prison shanks.
Huh?
Jesus.
Okay, yes, that would be him. He's going to be, he'll beat Nick. Yeah.
Oh, you think so?
I think
Dang.
No, I mean, you know now, but you also know that Nick Gage literally died in a real life died in a death match, and
Yeah.
he did 5 years in a federal penitentiary for armed robbery.
And you just basically
well.
called him a bitch.
Yeah.
That's basically
No,
what you just did.
I did not say that.
And you're and Logan has to wrestle him coming up, and
Yeah.
then you said that.
Yeah.
So now you just
I'll reach
sentence
out to
your
him
son to
before that
death.
happens.
Well,
We'll make some
what,
contact.
6 days, like 5 and 6 days, you're going to be back-to-back shows with Nick Gage and Slack at Game Changer Wrestling?
I am.
And what is it, Asbury Park in Chicago?
Asbury Park in Chicago.
Bam, bam.
And the stunts are going to be less one child because of Mama Stunt.
Right.
Saying Nick
It's all your
Gage is a
fault.
bitch.
Hey, Marni Gras just joined us too here. She's going to ask a question of Mama Stunt too.
Okay. Any
Be
trivia
nice.
question?
It's not a trivia question. I just want to know a personal question. Who is your favorite female wrestler? Not to put you on the spot.
That would be, oh wait, does it have to be people I actually know?
Well, yeah, you
Well,
have to.
people I know, it would be you.
No.
People I don't know
People you
personally, it would probably be Bailey.
Bailey. That's a good
That's so
choice.
sweet that she loves you in every gender.
Man. And to think, my little brother, the female wrestler. That should be a book or a movie. My little brother, the female wrestler.
See, I knew as soon as Logan hit puberty, he was going to get a nice set of tits in. We're just waiting.
Hey, let's talk about the Super Show that happened last night.
It was fun.
It was fun. How stressed out were you, honestly?
On a level 1 to 10, I was about a 9. I was pretty stressed out. I think the Fight TV added on to it because we never done it before. And when I get to the arena, I hear we don't have internet. And these people are telling me this, and I go to Adam, and he's like, "No, we have it. They just don't. You know, they're just having an issue." And we got it all fixed up, and everything went really well. Everything went as planned. I put it like that.
Yeah.
What was the crowd last night?
678.
Wow,
That's
But, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So it was
Whole floor was filled. I couldn't see any spots on the floor. I know most of the risers at least were pretty much packed.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, absolutely.
It was definitely a packed
Largest
house.
crowd we ever had, and you know, the Steiners always bring some intimidation from everybody, from the people they're wrestling, from people they're around. But I tell you, Scott and Rick were very professional, and besides, you know, that one little accidental slip, I know he never really cusses, but he did get into it last night, kind of said something. But besides that, it was emotions were high. He really wanted those CCW tag team titles. I appreciate it.
How about the fight? First time y'all been on Fight TV.
Yeah.
How did that go over?
It went over really well. I want to get the numbers back, but I know a little bit over halfway through the show, Fight TV contacted our directors and just said, go as long as you guys need. So that's pretty cool when they tell us go as long as we want.
Wow.
You know.
Yeah, just so you guys know, we are at Cape Comic Con right now, so if you hear any background noise, that's what you're hearing. We're at our CCW booth right now doing the Stunt Family podcast. We've actually got this is our largest group we've had. We've had one single guest that called in from Skype, and now we're live with like 1,700 guests. It's pretty cool.
But just to kind of touch on like the Fight TV thing, you know, we had our CCW SS3 was the hashtag on Twitter last night, and if you go back and find that, there was so many just positive reactions about the show that from the people that were watching it on Fight. There was absolutely nothing negative said whatsoever. So pulling that off, first time ever with like little to no like major hiccups at all, was freaking fantastic. Yeah. Like it started a little rocky because the opening match disconnected every single cable, whole feed went out. Luckily enough,
is that
Adam.
what happened?
Yeah, that's what happened. So big stage dive from Mikey. Everybody lands. Cord pulled. Adam sees it on the switcher board, and he's like, "Oh shit!" Gets up, runs his ass right down the ramp. Plug. Everything comes back up, and lucky enough, no other issues happen. But first match right out of the gate, 3 minutes into the show, feed gone. And we're like, shit. Adam just said, screw it, headset, gone. Boom,
Yeah,
down there.
I do remember seeing Adam just take off down the stage. I was like, look at Adam getting his debut.
He's like, I'm getting in this scramble match.
Give Adam a shout out, man.
Yeah, shout out to Adam.
Major props to Adam for always doing what's needed and going above and beyond for every CCW show, especially last night.
Yeah, for those of you on the listening to the podcast that don't know, this is the guy that does this lighting and sound for CCW every month. Man, he does an awesome job.
Yeah, absolutely. I always told everybody that kind of sets us apart. We all go to a lot of independent shows, and they all can put on really good shows. I think our production level, the lights, the sound, the music, the screen, it gives us that big fight feel, and I like that a lot.
Well, very well, Adam Reister. Adam Reister. Not Reister.
Reister. I don't care what my iPhone calls him.
I thought it was Rister.
I thought it was Rister too.
No,
I've been saying Rister for like 3 years.
Reister.
That's wrong.
Damn, Reister.
Yeah. All right, so
I went to school with him, so I guess that makes the difference.
so at the Super Show, there were how many matches?
9 matches.
9 matches.
Yep.
And we went a little long. Sorry though.
Yeah. I mean, shorter than WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
But longer than old school in your house.
Yes.
It was only about 30 minutes though. It was only really about 30 minutes. We had everything scripted out to go to 10. We just needed an extra 30.
Which really, like, overall the show was good enough, I think, to go that long. And I don't think there was any, like, issues with the people, like the fans. I think they were all, like,
Nobody
satisfied.
left. Yeah, nobody left.
It did not feel long. It did not feel long.
Yeah.
That's what you get when you get an action-packed show like that. I mean, because really every match was top-notch.
Yeah.
You know, starting it off with the scramble, and then going there with Ace Hawkins and Brent Espinoza, and then of course SCU and the Besties was incredible. Those guys, and you know the crowd just bought in at the beginning and just stayed for the whole thing until Jacksyn and Jake closed it out with an incredible main event with that chokeslam off top rope.
Man, how'd that feel?
No, for real, no lie though. Like I hit, and it was like deja vu with a kick a long time ago. I lost,
looking at you, Logan.
Like for real, like I lost all hearing. Like I hit, boom. So me popping up, I don't remember popping up. I remember looking at Jake. I'm like, I think that's gonna knock me out. Wham! I go down. He goes up. He goes up to me. Hey, you all right? Yeah, man, I'm good. Let's keep going. Yeah, that chokeslam hurt.
All right, wait a minute. Because people don't know this. Logan Stunt debuted at CCW last night. It was awesome. He in a scramble, did great. Got one of the biggest pops of the night, man. He really did. He got a huge pop. It was great. But people don't know. Most people don't know this. That about 3 years ago, Logan actually started out as Polo.
Marko Polo.
I thought he had that disease.
I feel so bad.
Jeez. Oh,
but
close. Well, now I'm not gonna get him a horse.
He only wrestled for about a month because they stuck him 1 week of training and they stuck him in the show. You know, because he could do the,
right?
Yeah, because he could do the splits. And I mean, but anyway, one of his matches was seriously against Jacksyn Crowley, who at that time went by Sin, and he did a kick to the head that seriously knocked Jacksyn out, man.
Let me rephrase this.
There's no rephrasing. You knocked the man out.
He told me that if I did not hit him, he was gonna hit me hard.
Yeah, so we worked on this enziguri for how long?
About an hour.
Before, yeah, and he kept kicking me in the shoulder. I'm like, dude, in the match, you better kick me. If you don't, we're gonna have issues. All right, man. Here comes the spot. Grab his foot. Look at him. Whop! Lost all hearing. Lost everything. I forgot where I was even at. Next thing you know, I see Marko coming off the rope. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm still wrestling. I forgot exactly what I was doing at that very moment in time. I forgot what I was doing.
You thought you were taking a
Like
shit.
legit, like I was out.
Yeah.
I was out.
Well, when people asked for him to kick them, that's not really good on their part because
You don't do that to a black belt.
he's known for his spin kick and he's knocked several people out. Yeah. It's fun to watch as a mom.
You ain't ever kicking me. You're bony little ass. You ain't ever kicking me. Ever.
I have kick pads now.
You had kick pads back then.
That's true.
Yeah.
Actually, the same kick pads that you wore last night. You had this.
Jesus.
Hey, man,
Logan, calm down.
I'm better. I can control it better now.
Yeah.
Jacksyn, how does it feel though, man, to be the new CCW champion?
Man, it feels good, to be honest with you, man. Back up top. So I'm looking forward to all comers.
I
And
was glad to see it.
yeah. First time, 2-time champ. So
Can you remind us? Last year you won the championship as well, right?
Yes.
And how long did you hold it?
do you really want to go there?
He did. He went
Yeah, he
there.
does. Okay.
totally
Yeah.
went
Well,
there.
okay. I'll be on 1 month. But
Who did you lose it to?
okay. It was a triple threat against
triple threat match.
against Marko
He lost to Flip.
and Flip
Yeah.
Gordon. It was an elimination match, and unfortunately I got eliminated. And then right after, Marko picks up the win, and I lost my belt within a month. So
It's okay, because I had to relinquish it, and now you're the champion again, and we're going to get our rematch.
yeah, man. Let's hey, match of the year too.
There you go. I'll be honest. I was telling this to some guys last night that aren't from here, that when you two get together and put on a match, it's chemistry.
Yeah.
It is incredible. You guys know how to make a match go and make it good for the crowd. Y'all do an awesome job.
I love working with him, man. He's one of my favorite guys to work with. So love you.
Love you too. I tell everybody that we have the most chemistry out of anybody, like anywhere.
Well, anybody who watches you can see it. I mean, they can see that chemistry. Yeah, it's good.
Let's just kind of move around the table then and go. Billy Hills, man, last night you had a heck of a match and almost got hurt.
Well, I went in hurt. Like,
Yeah, this
I
dude-
did. I went in hurt. I just didn't say anything. Like 3 weeks ago, I was in Arkansas. I was wrestling a green kid. Like he's only been working for just a few months, and I don't know. He just got like a little rambunctious. Gave me a running knee to the side of the head, and just pretty much kind of gave a Logan to Sin kind of deal. Yep, coming back to you, Logan, Mr. Kick Pads.
Mr. I don't want to catch dives.
We are black.
That's wrong.
No, we are blackballing you from the business before you ever get in.
No, I will say on that, like, I know there was a gif going around about a dude diving out of the ring and nobody caught him. There was a whole mishap, and that all of that was. It was just all a mistake. Everything was just a big mistake right there in that moment, and they all learned from it, and that happens. Sometimes that happens during in this business. You mess up. Not everything goes perfect, and sometimes you do some things that doesn't look good. You know?
Yeah. And that's exactly what happened to me in that match. That like requires me to now have like neck surgery. Gave me the running knees to the side of the head, and it just gave just enough pressure, whatever you want to call it, I don't know, but it actually took the nerve off my spine. It's just kind of like running around like there in my neck and everything.
That's insane.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Like they told me that, yeah, you can still wrestle, like it'll be all right up until we can get your surgery scheduled.
So like, does it take like the transit system through your body, like the nerve? Does it like
Yeah.
go down to your butthole sometimes?
Yeah. Yeah, like I can't sometimes feel my butthole. So I legit don't know if it's a fart or shit. So I actually have like a whole lot of toilet paper just like in between my cheeks right now. It's like a man
Yo,
pond.
okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell this story. All right. So one time.
Is this Adrian Gary shitting himself on
No.
freelance TV?
No, this is me.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'll just go ahead and tell the story. I haven't really told it in public before. But okay, so I was wrestling Ace Romero, and he's a lot bigger than me. Like, if you don't know who Ace Romero is, he's about. Actually, he's lost a lot of weight recently, but he was at the time we were wrestling, he was 500 pounds, and I'm not. And I gave him a code red from the top rope.
Oh,
which,
yeah.
And he landed like on my pelvis almost, and I didn't realize it at first, but I was just walking around in my gear, and I was like, man, this venue smells like doo-doo. I was like, this venue just stinks. And like Trey Miguel was sitting next to me, he goes, man, it smells like piss and poop. I was like, yeah, man, it smells real bad over here. Well, I was walking back to the back, and like, I guess one of my strides made my butthole, I mean, not my butthole, my butt cheeks rubbed together, and I was like, ooh, that was squishier than usual.
There was some doo-doo in there.
I went back to the back, and like, I looked around to make sure nobody was watching me, and I pulled my pants down real slow. And I just looked up and I was like, oh man.
That's not chocolate, that's doo-doo, baby.
So apparently when I did the code red, he landed on me and it just, hold on. Anyways, so what I was saying, we did the move, and apparently when we landed, it just like, I just crapped myself. I didn't realize it.
So legit, like, squished the crap out of you. Like,
Yeah,
legit.
literally.
Oh, man.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was walking around with doo-doo in my pants.
And couldn't tell.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
And nobody was nice enough to freaking tell you, Marko, you smell like poop, go check yourself. That's a wrestling locker room, though.
Yeah.
Kayfabe the boys.
Yeah.
That was a horrible rib. Horrible rib.
I don't know that anybody knows. Well, they do now. But I don't know that anybody knew at the time that it was just me. Like,
Yeah, not even you knew.
No.
Not even you knew. So that's fair. That's a fair assessment of that.
But, man. So going back to the Super Show,
Yeah, because we're still fresh off that thing, man. And, like, yeah, I went in there hurt, but there was no way I was not going to do the match, hurt or not.
I feel you.
Because I don't realistically know what's really going to happen after, like, the neck surgery and everything happens. So if it's my last one, there was no way I wasn't going out at least at that show. You know, right now they're talking that the recovery time's only going to be like 2-3 weeks. So that's good, but they won't know till they actually get in there, because having the nerve come off the spine and then they have to go in there, cut, fuse it back and everything, they don't really know how bad that's realistically going to be. You know, or if it's worse than what they think it is and what the x-rays and MRIs look like.
Yeah.
So right now it's just kind of a guessing game, but there was just no way that I was missing that last night. Sure, 2 minutes in from the neck down, I went numb, and I was just kind of like ghosting the rest of the match.
And when you say numb, like, do you mean like you could still move and stuff, but like you just couldn't?
It felt like my entire body was itching on the inside.
Yeah.
Is what it felt like. It just felt like my whole entire body was just itching. And I was just shaking. like my knees and everything. You can watch it back on the Fight TV app. $10 credit. We got a code if you find us on Facebook and you watch it for free. You see my knees constantly moving and shaking. It's because I couldn't feel them.
Yeah,
so I was just spaghetti leg the whole time.
Yeah, we watched it last night, and we noticed it. So
everybody could tell last night that I was physically off. Like there was something wrong, and I didn't tell anybody. I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm not going to get pulled from one of the biggest shows of the year. There, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I kept my mouth shut. I did what I could with what I had, which was nothing, and well, here we are. We're all right. We got through it. Nobody died.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
I think a lot of people wrestled hurt last night.
I think a lot did.
I know I'm not at all 100%. But I did come back early. I feel like I came back where I needed to come back though, and like I'm pushing through it. I still feel it. My ankle is hurting today. But man, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
props to you, dude.
Yeah, well, thank you. I mean, as stupid as it is, thank you. I do appreciate that. But somebody who's really got beat up last night, even though you brought in a pretty good partner and was a partner for you last night, was Numbnuts over here.
Numbnuts.
Dalton, Anthony.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, he's pretty beat up today. He's got nice little bruises everywhere. Yeah, he took a ass. You guys were just hanging. You and Joey Ryan were pretty much just hanging out the whole time.
I told him to fight back.
He wouldn't do it. Nope. He just
Yo,
wouldn't
for real
listen.
though. I was literally telling you, fight back.
He meant that.
I really did.
Well, like I was hearing, it's like, all right, he's going, and then I hear fight back for real, and just as you say that, I see Joey take a step in, ref goes over, and then like Bradley and Justin both come in and start hitting me, and I was like, can't really hit anybody right now.
Well, I mean, in those situations, it's just that's kind of what that's for, is for us to come in, distract the ref,
That's our job.
Yeah. So, but I'm learning. Like it's very much an on the spot learning experience for me.
And you know what? Sometimes that's the best learning you can get, because eventually you get past the point in training to where you're going to learn more from being in the ring than you are from just bumping around 100 times a day.
Yeah, and I definitely learned a lot from that match. The whole fighting back thing is I'm just like, all right, cool. Next time I just see the opening, I'm just going to take it. They'll shut me down regardless. So.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
I watched it back and it looked pretty good, but no, I do see the spots where it's like, man, should have listened a little bit.
And dude, you did good. Don't beat yourself up over it, because
you got beat up last night?
Yeah. No, you did good, man. For real. Like, I was very happy with how the match went. I didn't think that I forgot what I was saying. I thought it was good.
So for those of you listening that don't know, this is Dalton Anthony. Dalton is one of the new stars here at Cape Championship Wrestling. And last night he was in a match where his partners were Marko Stunt and Joey Ryan. And they went against the LA Hustlers and Justin the Juice Smart.
The Lower Arkansas Hustlers.
we don't want to confuse brands here at
There you go.
CCW.
But Dalton, how long? When did you start training?
I started training February 2018, and then I started wrestling in August. Billy, does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been wrestling for only a couple of months, and I started as a commentator here in Cape. Became friends with pretty much everybody here at the table, slowly but surely over the course of the 3 years, and it's been an awesome experience overall. Starting as a commentator and then getting to do more and more as time went on.
Is it more brutal than you realized before you started it?
Some of it yes, some of it no. Like I've had really good nights where I'm like, man, feel great, and then nights like last night, and that could have been the training beforehand, but like last night, like I said, I was just beat up after it, and I'm still feeling it today. I'm limping around Comic-Con, but Joey Ryan, I found out about an hour before our match that was my partner, and I was like, well, definitely gonna have to bring out everything I have for this one.
Yeah, that's the thing. We didn't even tell Dalton that Joey was our tag partner. I think there was only like 5 or 6 people that actually knew. Maybe. Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I knew. And there was no way I was telling you.
Your girlfriend.
I told your girlfriend just to annoy you.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Read the shirt from Collar and Elbow. Promo code FBH05. Oh God, why can't my boyfriend wrestle?
That's good. That's real good. Did you get that on purpose?
Yes.
That's good.
Mama Stunt had a question for Dalton.
Great shirt.
Okay, so I know that Joey was your partner, last night. But were you jealous by any chance that Mr. 100 got to grab his hardware?
I'm going to answer that question, and then I'm going to elaborate on that story. But yes, I am jealous. And nothing was better than Mr. 100, the guy that I ended up wrestling after that six-man. He's like one of my really, really good friends. And he was backstage and never met Joey Ryan before. And he trained like 2 days. And he's like, so how hard do I have to grab your penis? And me and Justice Bart were just in the back just laughing, like hysterically at that. Because he had to ask a man that, like, just like, how hard do I grab it? Like, is it a gimmick? To like, it was amazing.
Well, he told me okay. So funny story. He said we were sitting in the back, and he was talking to me, and he said, yeah, one time Marty Skrull just like grabbed it, and I mean like it hurt. So it's a work, brother. It's work.
That's awesome. I will say on a personal note, Dalton, man, I've been so proud to watch you over the last year, dude. You've come so far, and you really have. I mean, the crowd's gotten behind you ever since you started. They started it with a great story of you and Mr. 100 going at it and so forth on the mic and everything. It's really turned out great, man. I'm proud of how hard you've worked and how far you've come.
Yeah, and honestly, like all of my progression, that's a testament to the people that I have just been fortunate enough to be put around. People like Billy Hills, your Austin Lange, your Justin Smarts. Marko has been like an amazing mentor to me anytime he's around. Sin laughs at me whenever I screw something up, which is quite often whenever I'm training. So he's my motivation to get better. But
he's the reason I do a 450.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh, I remember
Yeah.
that. He started trying that. That video that he sent me on the phone, I thought he was gonna die.
Dude, that ring sucked so bad that day.
That was
Gosh,
so
dog,
funny.
dude. Yeah, so
Man, it was so like it had just rained, and so all the mats and the wood had water in the wood and the mat, and it just the ring just
like it had no give at all. You bump, boom, you're on the ground. You're not getting up.
Yeah.
It was bad.
So like the thing we ended up having to do was we took the ring apart, not the ring, but we took the mats apart and just stacked the mats on top of each other so that I could so I could have more padding doing it.
Yeah.
But dude, that sucked. I'm glad the rings that we wrestle in now are
Better.
better.
Well, it was good. It was good though, man. It was good.
But Jeff Odell's still here with us. He actually just transitioned into being more of a GM role for CCW, which is cool. He used to manage and whatnot for the Pinnacle, which I was a part of for quite a while. Actually, there's 3 of us here right now that were originally in the Pinnacle, which I still have that shirt somewhere. But
Me too.
Hey,
how do you feel? How do you
I
feel
was
like?
in for one day.
Were you?
Yeah, when my debut at CCW, I was in Pinnacle.
I did not know
sort
that.
of kind. Me and Blaster.
Like an associate member?
Yeah, kind of like yeah.
So like, is there anything that you like missed about being out there? Like, do you miss being out in front of the crowd more? Do you miss changing your shirt every other minute?
Before you answer that, I got a Pinnacle story I have to tell about Marko. And it's one of my favorites ever because it doesn't even involve me.
Is this the one with your wife?
Yes.
2 years ago?
Yes, it was. Now, mind you, I cannot remember if this was like one of the Super Shows or if it was anniversary.
It was Super Show.
It was Super Show?
Yes,
was it
because
Super
because I forgot. All right, here's why I did the whole costume change. All right, so what he's about to tell you is, all right, so I came out and did a whole bunch of costume changes with Jeff because I was like, okay, he changes his shirt, I'll just change my costume. And it was Comic-Con, so I figured this is the best part to do it. Usually, the first time they had me come out there, I dressed up in a button-down shirt, a fedora, and khaki pants.
And suspenders. You had black suspenders on too.
Did I?
Yes.
You were my bodyguard.
Yeah, I was the bodyguard for Pinnacle. And so just this night, I did a bunch of costume changes because I forgot my clothes. So here you go.
So pretty much he is at the final wardrobe change. At this point, he's basically in the fedora, sunglasses, and pretty much a Speedo at this point. Now, we are at the women's match. If I remember correctly, I want to say it might have been a triple threat or something. I think it was Nikki, Marni, and my wife, Sarah. And, of course, Sarah was in the Pinnacle with us. She goes out with Jeff. Marko, well, as Sarah and everybody is celebrating, Marko climbs to the top. He keeps 1 foot on the top rope, 1 foot on the second, bam, hits the poles with a fanny pack. As my wife is on the floor, she looks up at Marko. And as she's staring at Marko, there's nothing but stunts hanging out of the Speedo. And she looks up and she says, Marko, put your dick and balls away. And he looks down. He looks down and all he says was, oh. That's it. Oh, and then he tucks them away.
You know, I didn't get back on the top rope the rest of the night.
No, he didn't. And he had a lot more stuff and spots to go, but he never went to the top anymore after that.
Yeah, and Sarah came to me and she said, I just saw Marko's balls.
So now we can go to your wardrobe changes. I'm sorry.
Man.
I had to.
No, it's all good. So do you miss being a part of the Pinnacle? Oh, like, obviously, yeah, the character of the Pinnacle is, hey, we're the bad guys. But, like, overall, just, like, the way we were a family, really. Like, do you miss, like, the way everything used to be?
Very much. And give a little background on me. I've been somehow involved in the wrestling business since 2001. So, you know, I'm going on 18 years involved, either as a ring announcer, a manager, a promoter, what have you. And my entire time in the wrestling business, the most fun I ever had was in the Pinnacle. This group, whichever variation we had, the group just meshed together so well, and it was so much fun, and it was easy. But I was fortunate that the Pinnacle guys were all really good guys to start with. It wasn't like they threw me a green guy here. You have to help get this guy over. All these guys could get themselves over, and I'm just out there kind of as an additional mouthpiece. So I miss it a lot because, you know, of course, being a heel manager, you're able to work heel gimmicks, and my gimmick was before every match or between every match, I would change my shirt and I'd change my necktie and get some heat from the crowd. Yeah, you know, so it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, man. I really miss it.
Because, man, we did some shenanigans.
Dude, I miss
that group.
I miss just, like, being dumb because we would come in the building and literally make it our own.
Through the front door.
Right.
We came through the front door. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. Once every single person in that group was there, like, and the door started opening at 6. They always open at 6. Once we all got there, it was always about 6:30. We all grouped up, and off and around the corner of that building we went. We went right through the front door, and we made sure everybody knew who it was and what we were there to do. And, I mean, it went as far as some people that paid to have their merch set up there. Their tables got flipped. We had a couple brawls with some bikers whenever that first James Ellsworth show. I actually had to give Jeff a knife.
Yo, I wasn't
to
there
kind
that
of
night.
protect me on that one. Yeah, because that one was
What happened
crazy.
there?
Okay, so I showed up late to the show, and I parked on the wrong side of the building. Now, this is the shoot part of the story. Parked on the wrong side of the building, and there was no other way to get in except to go through the front door because I couldn't get around to the other side because there was a line of fans, which is a good thing. So I just messaged Jason, and I'm like, hey, I'm coming through the front door. Mind you, I'm still heel at that time.
Yeah.
And as I'm pulling my bag and everything up, of course, there's a line of fans. They just look over at me, and they see who it is. And I just stare them right in the eye, and I go, move! Parted like the Red Sea. I'm like, oh, that worked. Cool. So I pranced my happy fat ass on in there and everything. And then, of course, at the time, there was that war child that was doing concessions and stuff with us. And they, like, legit hated my guts. So, of course, I'm just jaw-jacking every single one of them, all 30 of them assholes. Just jaw-jacking every single one of them, gave no shits. Finally, they sent Jeff out the door because they heard me yelling at them. So they sent Jeff physically to come out there, and I felt somebody grab me from the back. And I turned to swing, and lucky enough, I seen a bright T-shirt and tie. And it was Jeff to pull me back into the curtain just in case. Well, turns out I'm like match 3 or 4 right before intermission and everything. I'm like, Jeff, I already stirred up some shit. This is a bunch of bikers. They suck. Here's my knife, just in case. Mind you, I already had Big Lee as security. You know, I already had Big Lee because of my shenanigans. He was security and everything else. So, music hits.
So you were like legitimately nervous.
Yeah, I was. And then it got worse, Marko. It gets worse from there. I'm making my entrance and everything. It's a Halloween show. So I had like this mask on and everything with the rebel flag to piss people off and everything. And then I'm not even like around the corner of the ring yet to like talk. First fucking corner, Marko. I feel M&M's just hit me in the side of my face, and I'm like, whoa.
Were they peanut?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
They were the big ones. I got pissed about two things. One, she didn't warn me they were coming because I took the mask off and opened up because I love M&M's. And second, that of course it freaking happened.
Yeah.
So I'm hat off, mask off, and I just turned through them.
Yeah.
Part like the Red Sea, they start pointing at a little old lady. Her husband is sitting right there and sees me start going after her, and the husband
Wow.
gets out of the way. So she's like, oh yeah, you want to do something? Let's go outside, big boy. I'm like, oh bitch, you done f***ed up. Let's go. I start going towards the door. Jeff, I'm dragging Jeff. He is holding on to my suspenders and my coveralls for dear life, and I'm dragging his ass. Here comes War Child from the freaking concession stand. Apparently this bitch is one of theirs. I had no clue, no shit's given. Well, finally, here come Lee, but here come 30 of them. I got Jeff, I'm dragging him to the door. Lee gets in between all of us and War Child, and finally is like, please don't get us shut down. Please don't get us shut down. Please, just leave. Just go backwards. And I'm like, from here to, I mean, you can see like the little photo back there. We're from here to the door as all this is going on. I would have legit went out there and f***ed that old woman if they hadn't let me. Like, if I had a, like, if Jeff could have got in front of me and, like, shanked a couple of the, like, War Child guys, I could have got through there and everything. It would have been great.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to post this episode.
Oh, no, it's fine.
No, I'm joking. I don't care.
But, like, it would have been so good. Like,
We'll have to look up the rules for Spotify and stuff to see if we have to bleep.
Yeah.
Only
But, like-
PG-13 right now, right?
yeah. And mind you, brother, this is only, like, maybe the fourth show in, like, the CCW history. And we're creating crazy-ass moments like that. And we just kept just stepping up every single show from there in that pinnacle group to where it came to time to where we couldn't top ourselves anymore. So it was just that time to, unfortunately, you know,
Disband.
Right.
Yeah, and I know my turn was trying to jump off a cage onto Mathis or Matthias, whatever he goes by now.
Yeah. Retired is what he goes by, actually.
Retired?
Yeah, his back is shot. He's done.
Yeah.
So, never say never. So we were talking to Jeff Odell, though, about that transition. What's it like now being the GM instead of the heel manager?
Well, you're going from being a heel to, I would say babyface, but you're not really babyface. You're really just straight. You're calling it right down the middle. And I'll tell you what, man, I enjoy being a heel a whole lot more.
Yeah. Were you surprised at how quickly the fans adhered to your new role, though?
No, not at all. There was some inkling with management that some of the fans actually liked me, and we all know that a good heel can be a good babyface, because even if you rile people up, they still deep down kind of want to cheer you. Billy Hills is a good example of that. Billy Hills was our best heel for a long time, and as soon as he flipped babyface, that entire crowd was with him. In fact, when he teased a babyface flip, he had 300 people in that building behind him, and then he pulled the rug out from under him, and they were ready to shank him.
That night that he power slam Sarah. Oh my gosh!
Let's just set that up for him. So it's what was the matchup? It was Sarah and Nikki,
I believe. Yes.
So it was almost like Pinnacle versus Pinnacle almost. It was Sarah versus Nikki, And after the matchup and everything, Nikki and Jeff just starts putting the boots to my wife and everything. So, of course, fans are chanting for me to come out. Of course, whew, bam. I hit the ring, get Nikki off of Sarah. And I'm just eyeballing Jeff like, what the are you doing? You know, what the hell are you thinking kind of deal. Finally, boom, they scatter, they walk away. I'm getting Sarah up and everything else, checking on her, make sure she's all right. Give her a kiss on the forehead, look at Jeff, give him a wink. Bam, Sarah on the shoulder, bam, running power slam. Mind you, when I hit that ring, the roof was gone. It was gone. Crazy. I hit that power slam, the roof came back and crashed that building with the boos. Man, talk about goosebumps.
I have never seen anybody hold the people in the palm of their hand like you did that night. That was incredible.
It absolutely was. And it got Moment of the Year for 2017 for a reason.
The thing is, I could go back and watch that a year later and still get goosebumps.
Just talking about it. Just talking about it because that is what CCW does. Yeah. It creates those kind of moments, not only for us, but for fans too. That's the reason why it's such a special product here and everything. And we're able to keep doing this because it's such a special product and people keep coming to see it because we keep dishing out moments.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
I think CCW has been a big part of my life, my wrestling life especially. Like, this is my home now, and I think that we've had so many moments, and I'm very glad that we just got that fight deal. We were able to go live for the first time ever, and so many more people got to see what CCW is really made of, and I think that's really good going forward, and I think we're going to be able to make even more CCW moments going forward. But going forward, we've got a lot of new talent coming into CCW coming up. We've got Blake Christian, we've got All Ego, Ethan Page. We've got the original LAX, Homicide Hernandez. Logan Stunt's going to be there a little more. Logan, how are you feeling about, like, since you've debuted and everything? Not necessarily at CCW, but in general in wrestling. How are you feeling mentally? How are you feeling mentally? Not physically. I know you're beat up, but.
Mentally, I feel like challenged because I'm getting way more opportunities put on me than somebody would for their first 3 months into wrestling, and I'm getting tested all over wherever I'm wrestling, and it's been a big impact on me, and it's helped me a lot. Like, I struggle with depression, anxiety, and most people know that, but whenever I'm in wrestling, it's literally like it's my happy place, and I can't help but just be happy whenever I'm at wrestling or around wrestlers or anywhere at an event. And mentally, it's just been a really good place for me ever since I've started.
Because CCW is a place where you can literally come and let your balls hang out.
Legit. Literally.
You know, you can just let it all hang out, man. Let it all hang out.
So, we talked about CCW for quite a while. We'll get off that for just a second.
But before we get away from it, Jason Jason Wells just walked back up. Yeah. So, Jason, one of the owners of CCW. We've been talking about Super Show. We got in talking about the history of CCW, some of the big things that have happened, some of the more memorable moments. What's your favorite moment so far during this 3 years of CCW?
Yeah, I can't really count the memories on one hand. I mean, start the Super Show, the first one. I think that that pop that Ron Simmons got. I tell you, the first night we were actually in this building for our first show that we ever had, and. Normally when you're starting out a company, you just want to do like a very basic show the people who you got. Billy was here, Brandon, Bob Wire, Sarge O'Reilly, they were all here. We did and Jake Durden. Yeah, we did a turn at the very first show where the crowd was so behind Brandon. I mean, they wanted him to win the championship that night and become the first ever champion. And he did, but then he turned heel at the very last of the match, and it just hooked so many people. I've been quite lucky to manage the talent and book the shows, and like I said, there's a lot of memories. Matt Hardy, Ricochet, Billy slamming Sarah was always great. Marko win that championship when he beat Flip Gordon. Oh, that was a huge pot. There's just so many to count. I mean, you can just go month to month. Like that was a great memory. That was a great one.
And y'all kind of timing-wise, things went perfect for y'all as far as Marko wins y'all's title, and like a month later, he blew up.
Yeah, he's welcome.
Now, the story goes around the CCW locker room. Jason Wells has a horseshoe up his ass. Because as soon as he books something happens. It's like Kelly Klein. You announce Kelly Klein is going to be a Super Show, and then 2 weeks later she wins the Women's Championship, and she brings it here.
Yeah, it's crazy because, well, with the Marko thing, he wins the championship, and then that night some guy posts on Twitter that, hey, since he beat Flip Gordon, he's not booked for All In and StarCast. What about Marko? And then all of a sudden he gets a retweet. He's like, yeah, he's booked for it. And I'm like, whoa, look at that.
Hold on. So you're saying if I actually won that match, I would have went to All In.
Hey, I'll talk to you guys later.
Dang.
Of course he leaves on that note. Of course.
So,
Oh, man. Well, I was going to let him plug all of his stuff, but he had to leave.
yeah, we're getting close to time. I'm gonna go ahead and slow it down just a little bit, get close to ending it.
Where are you going to be
Where am I gonna be?
in the next few months? What are your bookings? Come on, get 'em out there.
I don't really.
Well, you know where
I'll
you
be-
are next week.
I know where I am next week. I'm doing a bunch of GCW. I'll be in Jersey Friday. I'll be in Chicago Saturday, and then I'm off the rest of Sunday. And then what's the date for the next? I don't know.
May 18th is the next CCW show.
Yeah, I'll be in New York for that, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's
I'll
another
have to miss that.
GCW show,
No,
right?
that's ICW.
ICW.
Yeah, I'm wrestling Rich Swann that night.
Nice.
So
Good.
That's a dream match.
Yeah,
That's
gonna
one
be
that
good.
Rick's been wanting.
yeah.
Not even so much you've been wanting, it's one Rick's been wanting,
Yeah.
right?
The weekend that we went to New York for Lost in New York, which is what got Marko noticed around the country, and when he blew up, we stopped off in Knoxville on the way home on Sunday night for a taping they were doing, and Rich Swann was there, as well as Joey Ryan and I don't know, a bunch of big names, Sammy Callahan, and Marko couldn't believe it because they're like, oh, come on in the back. He goes, can I go in the back? They go, man, you're Marko Stunt. And he had just blown up that weekend. But Rich Swann, I was standing there talking to him. I go, you heard of Marko Stunt? He goes, man, yeah, I've been watching him all weekend. We gonna go. And I'm like, really? And so Marko's like flipping out. He's like marking out in a big way. And that was been one of his dream matches for a long time. So now it's finally gonna happen.
Yeah, and it was a dream match before I met him. But
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got all that coming up. I'll be in Vegas for StarCast. Who knows what's going on during the show? I don't know what I'll be there.
Yeah,
I'll be in town. But we'll see what happens, I guess, huh?
Yeah, that shit-eating grin ain't saying a damn thing to anybody at this table right now.
It's
Yeah.
okay. There's no cameras. No, but all right, Jacksyn. Where can we find you on social media?
You can find me at Twitter, SSJ Crowley. Instagram, same thing, SSJ Crowley. Yeah, and you can like my page on Facebook, Jacksyn Crowley. Yay!
Yeah, and that is, how do you spell Jacksyn Crowley?
It's actually JACKSYN Crowley, CROWLEY.
Yeah, cool
Yeah.
deal.
I'm a good speller.
Billy Hills, where can we find you?
You can find me on the Facebook. I got a regular page and like under both names, Farmer Billy Hills. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, FBH05. Keep them the same across the board. Same with YouTube. Just look up Billy Hills on there. I even do Twitch like you,
I haven't
Mr.
done that in
Stunt.
so long.
Yeah, because you're not injured anymore.
I want to get into it, man. The Twitch thing?
Yeah, the Twitch is under FBH 2005.
I'm going to look you up.
Please do. I mean, even the PSN and Xbox, if you guys play that. Yes, you do. Because I do that too. You know, same thing. FBH 2005 on there.
Hey, man, Fortnite.
Oh,
Man, that's been you still play that?
Yes.
hold on. Time out. Hey, I got a joke for that one.
Uh-huh.
So why does Donald Trump like to play Fortnite?
You're.
I mean, to build walls, I guess, right?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I actually just
that's
guessed.
the joke.
But that's
okay.
accurate, though. That's accurate. There you go.
Nice.
Nice. I was hoping you didn't know that one.
That's the
Damn.
first joke I think I've ever guessed right.
Ruin my joke, dick.
All right, Jeff Odell. Where can we find you on social media anywhere?
You can find me on social media. I am on the Facebooks. I'm the best dressed Jeff Odell on the entire application there. And you can also find me on Twitter at @BossJeffOdell. I almost never use my Twitter account, but hey, maybe with the Stunt Family podcast bump, I will get a surge in new follows, and I will have to start monitoring that account again.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Oh, sorry.
Well, yeah, we've been talking all about Cape Championship Wrestling right now. Remember, guys, you can look them up online on Twitter. They're CC Wrestling 573, or you can just look them up on Facebook at Cape Championship Wrestling, or you can also find them online on
YouTube.
There's a
CCW.
Yeah, you can do CCW on YouTube. Yeah, but be sure and look them up. Great promotion up here in Cape Girardeau.
Be sure to check them out. Go like their page. Go follow them on Twitter. Be sure to check the replay on Fight TV of the Super Show 3. If you're gonna go catch the replay, be sure to use hashtag SS3.
CCW.
CCW.
SS3.
SS3. Hashtag CCWSS3. That is Cape Championship Wrestling Super Show 3. Thank you guys for joining us on the Stunt Family podcast. This was a Comic-Con edition. It was super fun. Hopefully we get to do it next year too. But thank you guys for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Awkward ending.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Stunt Family Podcast. If you'd like to ask Mama Stunt a wrestling-related question for next week's edition of A Moment with Mama Stunt, then use the hashtag AskMamaStunt and be sure to tag the Stunt Family Podcast as well. Do you have anyone you'd like to hear on the podcast with us? Well, let us know by tagging us on Twitter @StuntFamily, along with the guests that you'd like to hear. Again, thank you for tuning in, and be sure to give us a like, subscribe, and share us on the social media of your choice. We're grateful for all of it, and it all helps out. We'll see you next week on the Stunt Family Podcast.